Something is off, and fans can feel it. Dylan Wang was spotted leaving a high-profile industry event alone last night, and the images have sent shockwaves through his dedicated fanbase almost instantly. No entourage, no familiar face beside him. Just Dylan, head slightly down, moving quietly through the crowd like a man carrying something heavy that nobody else can see. For a star who once commanded every room he walked into with that signature energy and warmth, the silence surrounding him lately feels louder than anything he could ever say. If you've been following Dylan's journey as closely as this community has, you already know that this isn't the first time something like this has happened recently. There's a pattern forming, and fans are starting to connect the dots in ways that are both heartbreaking and impossible to ignore. The comment sections across his recent posts tell the whole story. Thousands of fans asking the same questions, noticing the same things, and quietly worrying about the man behind the megawatt smile they fell in love with. If this is your first time here, welcome, and make sure you subscribe before you scroll any further, because this channel covers every Dylan Wang development the moment it happens, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. The sighting itself was brief, but the energy around it was anything but. Sources close to the venue described Dylan as visibly withdrawn, politely declining conversation with people who approached him, and slipping out through a side exit well before the event had officially wrapped. For someone who has historically been one of the most engaging and magnetic personalities in any room, this kind of deliberate retreat feels significant. Fans who have followed his career from the very beginning are saying they barely recognize the version of him they've been seeing lately, and honestly, it's hard to argue with that. What makes this particular moment sting even more is the context surrounding it. The last several months have been a whirlwind of speculation, emotional social media activity, and an unusual silence from Dylan's camp on topics they would normally address quickly and confidently. Every public appearance has been dissected. Every post has been read between the lines. And now, another solo exit from another event is adding fresh fuel to a fire that was already burning hot among his most loyal supporters. The fans who spotted him last night weren't paparazzi looking for a story. They were genuine supporters who happened to be in the right place at the wrong moment, and what they described afterward wasn't excitement, it was concern. Real, genuine concern from people who have invested years of their emotional energy into watching this young man grow from a promising talent into one of the most talked about figures in the entertainment industry. When those same people start using words like worried and different and I hope he's okay, that means something. That carries weight. There's also the timing to consider, because timing in this industry is never accidental. Dylan's recent public appearances have been carefully managed, deliberately minimal, and noticeably stripped of the spontaneous joy that used to define how he moved through the world. Even the most casual fan can sense when someone is performing normalcy rather than living it, and right now, the performance feels a little too careful, a little too rehearsed, a little too quiet around the edges where the real emotions tend to leak through. His team has maintained a steady stream of professional updates, project announcements, brand partnerships, the kind of content machine that keeps a career moving forward regardless of what's happening behind the scenes. But followers who have been paying close attention have noticed something subtle and telling in the gaps between those updates. The personal touches that used to make Dylan's presence feel so authentic have slowly faded. The spontaneous behind-the-scenes glimpses, the unscripted moments that made fans feel genuinely connected to him as a human being, those have become increasingly rare, and their absence is speaking volumes right now. People who study celebrity behavior will tell you that withdrawal is one of the most consistent signals that something significant is happening in someone's personal life. It's not about one event or one sighting. It's about a cumulative shift in energy that builds over time until it becomes undeniable. And what fans are describing when they talk about Dylan lately fits that pattern almost precisely. A gradual dimming, a pulling inward, a kind of protective quiet that settles around a person when they're processing something they're not ready to share with the world yet. The most devoted corners of his fan base have been particularly vocal over the past 48 hours since the sighting began circulating. Fan accounts that typically focus on celebrating his work have pivoted almost entirely into a collective check-in, with thousands of comments expressing solidarity, sending support, and genuinely asking whether he's doing all right. That kind of organic, community-driven response doesn't happen around a celebrity unless the emotional bond between them and their audience is something genuinely rare and real. And Dylan has always had that, an authenticity that made people care about him beyond the projects and the press releases. What nobody in that fan base wants to acknowledge out loud, but what everyone seems to be thinking privately, is whether the events of recent months have taken more of a toll on him than anyone has let on. The entertainment industry demands a particular kind of resilience from its biggest names, the ability to keep showing up, keep performing, keep being everything to everyone, even when your personal world is quietly shifting beneath your feet. Some people carry that weight gracefully. Some people carry it alone. And a man leaving events by himself through side exits, head down, moving like someone who just wants to get home, that image tells its own story whether anyone narrates it or not. Dylan Wang has always been someone who gives everything to the people who support him. His fans have watched him pour himself into his work, into his craft, into the relationships that shaped his public identity. They have cheered every high and quietly worried through every low.